Word of the mouth. A video I've been saving for a whole long time. So here's the thing. What this is the difference between being a celebrity on paper and being a celebrity in real life. So here's what happened. After I became an Instagram star, where I literally was known for making AMVs for local rappers, I noticed something about the local rappers that wasn't very too different from me. You know when they say your favorite rapper is broke? Every single rapper I network with that I knew personally literally either copied me, did things that I did, or literally posted on their Instagram, I'm starving. And the reason why is because they don't get paid that much. And even though I was on welfare at the time, I was living better than them because they were living a lie, even though they had defeats on paper. And the real reason why that is they were kind of easy to control, and that was kind of the whole point of why that business fell. I'm gonna make another video about how my AMV life fell and why I couldn't hold on to that forever. And it wasn't due to word of the mouth. It was due to society's angle at attacking me for word of the mouth. You see, word of the mouth is you're just as famous as everyone, but you don't have to put in as nearly as much studio time. You don't have to literally be on the clock, and you can be free to do whatever you want, and you have the same level of respect and fame. So here's what was happening. All those rappers that I was working for that were pretending to get pussy, I was actually getting pussy, and I literally was free to get that pussy while they were stuck in the studio. So they're sitting over here making work for me over and over again, and society constantly makes fun of me, saying, oh, you may be famous for Instagram, but you don't got shit on paper. It's because I don't have shit on paper is why I'm not a slave. And you guys need to understand that. This is the talk that they were trying to tell Diamante at Home Depot when people tried to roast me, saying that, yo, you think you're going all out in your anime, you think you're going all out and this and that. You didn't go to school for graphic design. You didn't do this and that. Oh, but I have tons of freedom, and I can have the same material things as the people who went to school of graphic design and after rappers I work for. You know why? Because I have freedom and they don't, and I'm just as famous, and that is the power of word of mouth. But where word of mouth gets out of hand is when they want you to do something professional, and you can't do it because you didn't put in the work. But it's okay because you still have your whole private life to fall back on. Not only do you have privacy, you literally can do everything that a celebrity can do and not have a detriment. You are your own boss when you have word of mouth. And it literally is the best thing to have when you actually want to live the life that they pretend. So that is the difference between a producer and a rapper. I was a producer, not a rapper. So even the people who I work for offered me to be a rapper, and I said, nah, I'm good, because I knew I would lose my freedom. I knew I had it easy doing what I was doing, so I was going to keep on doing that while they literally had hundreds and hundreds of dollars wasted on songs that I literally make AMVs for free. You gotta understand, that is the difference between power. You may seem like a loser on the outside, even though you don't have shit on paper, but on the inside, you have everything right. And that's what people don't get. And so, literally, there are those who try to tell these kids over and over again, yeah, they have the fame, but Aries has the freedom. And he can do whatever he wants, literally. And he literally gets respected. He gets the same shortcuts in clubs. He gets everything that they have with no detriment. Because he's in control of his life because he didn't sign a contract. And you guys have to understand that. Word of mouth is very powerful. But here's what happened in society. So, word of mouth can last forever. Do not think it can't last forever. I was put in a predicament where the people who I was working for betrayed me, so it couldn't last forever. So literally, it is the biggest truth of all time. When you literally sit back and watch people play themselves, you have the upper hand 24/7. Literally, that's what was happening. Is literally, I was getting at the scripters that the rappers were getting at, that I was working for, and I was actually getting into relationships with those strippers, and they were stuck literally harassing them over and over again. But on the outside, those strippers are in his videos, so just this and that. So that is the difference between the outside and the inside, and that's why people kept attacking me and shit. And like, they wanted me to get my scholarship already. They wanted me to get a degree. And the whole problem with that is I realized that it's not all that it seemed it was. And that's why I declined being a rapper. That's why I stood doing my own thing, because not only was I good at it, but it literally left a whole leeway of shit that I could do that they couldn't, even though they had the fame. So you have to understand that on paper means that you're a slave unless you get your own shit. You have to understand that. So here's what happened. So it's not like I didn't want it to be word of mouth forever. Here's what I was working hard for, and I'm saving this for another video. So what happened was this. Okay, so society kept on attacking me to the fact that I wasn't being professional, even though I had tons and tons of credit. So here's how word of mouth goes on a play-by-play basis. Hey, aren't you the guy who's famous on Instagram? Oh, girls lifting up their pants and shit. Oh, you want to fuck me? Literally all around and shit. Well, they're stuck in the studio, while they're stuck on set making the videos, I'm over here enjoying my free time, and literally, they're like, dude, we made a new song. We need you to get on it. I'm like, okay. Do a quick A and B. Hey, go down the street and literally catch a girl and stuff like that. That literally, everything that happens every single day, that's what happens when you have word of mouth versus actually getting it on paper. So society, after the Lisa shit, kept on trying to force me to get it on paper because they knew that was a detriment. So that is where Lisa almost got me. Because think of it like this. I am known for fucking a lot of girls. I am known for being a whore, but I'm not known in society on paper for being responsible. And she hit me with that whenever she said, oh, here's what she tried to say in one message. You are not responsible. You don't start 18 fish. You are not professional. Is basically all that shit that she summed up in one sentence. Because that's what the situation was saying. I was by myself all day. Literally, I have no friends. Even though I'm adult and friends are obsolete at this point. And literally, everything I have come and go. And you don't sustain something. Everything that the single mother household shit said. She said in that one sentence. But that was the problem. That is how the paper works, but in real life, because people have emotions, because literally charisma can override paper if you have the right connections, is why I beat her and why I beat all those rappers that I work for. Because you have to understand that, literally, see why I mean to say, fuck my charisma, have discipline. And I'm like, okay, well, it's because I took shortcuts, it's why I had those connections, is why discipline didn't matter. But she kept on attacking that ego. Oh, you're not professional, you didn't get anything on paper. It's because I had the freedom, is why I got to fuck all those girls. And so literally, that's what the angle they kept attacking over and over again. We don't care, we want you to get it on paper, we want you to get it on paper. And the funny thing is, they were monkeys, they were just mad because they wanted to literally put me in a section where they were going to set me up. That's why they wanted me to get something on paper, but little did they know that it wasn't about me getting set up. It's the whole fact that once I get on paper, I'm a slave. And they didn't even know that part. And I knew that part the entire fucking time. So I literally have a horizon over my head of perspective. And so literally, but society works at this and that. It's like, oh, you're not responsible. Oh, he's lazy. Oh, who cares? He gets bitches. Sorry, that's overriding everything. It's overriding everything. And literally, society kept on trying to put this over and over and over again. And that's why I got respect on Instagram. Oh, this guy watches nothing but cartoons and stuff like that. Okay, then how come he can pull a bitch? And so what she tried to do was she tried to say, yo, that doesn't matter. You can't sustain a relationship. You can't do this and that. And she fell every single time because we're human. But that's not on paper. On paper, it's literally meant for you to have standards. It's literally meant for you to have self-control. But in reality, it's the exact opposite. And you have to understand that's the difference between paper and real life. They kept on attacking, getting this shit on paper, getting this shit on paper. They even know what happens when you get this shit on paper. You lose everything. You lose your freedom. You lose the mind. And they literally gonna put you through what they put me through in high school. It's like, okay, man, you did a whole bunch of work. That's this level 1. You still got a whole stack of homework to do. I'm like, no, you don't have to do that shit at all. Word of mouth literally prevents you from doing all the work and having the same amount of fame. But that can't be that way forever. It can if you're working with the right people, but it can't in the terms of what I was doing. Because what happened was this, is that they started noticing the difference between power, and they started doing things to not make me want to live my old lifestyle and have me grind for something greater so I can get into a relationship, so I have the tools to get in a relationship. But I'm like, it's not worth it. It's a waste of time. Because everything came and go, but that's exactly how I wanted it. And they kept on saying that because it came and go, that it was bad. But guess what happened? They had it way worse. You know how many times that all the girls that tried to set me up to be a beta male provider got raped by the same people that they made beta male providers? You gotta think of it like that. I'm not putting in the effort into everything. You're trying to put in effort into making me absorb a lesson that literally I would only fall for when I'm in high school. Do you know why? It's because society keeps on shoving the message down the throat. I've lived through the message that I know doesn't work. So this is literally why word of the mouth is so powerful, because you have the same amount of connections. You can do the exact same thing the rapper does, and that's why I literally turned down my offer to be a rapper. I didn't want to be professional because I did not want to be on the other side, because I knew these guys were virgins. I knew these guys were still talented. I still give them credit, but here's the thing, man. You can't literally just own up to something without reading the contract. I'm too smart to literally go into that depth, and that is why I left without literally putting any money into that girl at all. And she kept on attacking him. It's because you have word of mouth. It's why you can't see your kids. It's why you can't do this and that. And so you know what I came out with? I'm like, okay. If you really want to play like that, okay. Are you okay with this and that? And I'm like, yeah. It's because I accept things. It's because I'm not in denial. Is why everything pans out. I don't act like I'm something I'm not. And that literally is the best power to have. Literally. I'm not going to pretend that a lesson has morals when it doesn't. Because look at it at Lionsgate. On paper, it's you guys literally putting in work together, enjoying your time together, and this and that. Well, that's just on paper. What really could be happening in reality is she could be fake laughing at all your jokes. She can literally fake liking their relationship, and this and that is happening. But guess what? On paper, you guys are in a happy relationship. There's so many married couples that aren't happy being married. But on paper, they are. And that's what happens when you have word of mouth. Word of mouth can make you fuck somebody's wife. Word of mouth can do a whole lot of things that you don't think you can do. And that's why it's like, oh, but that's why, exactly. It's not like you haven't seen me with my baby mama before. Get the fuck out, literally. And that is what word of mouth does. She played herself, literally. So many people play themselves when they try to get me to fix on paper. When you get a girlfriend on paper, the government comes after you to see what's going on, and they put you into a situation together. When you have word of mouth, you're responsible for your own self. You don't have to worry about everyone else. You don't have to worry about a dance crew because you're already in sync. You don't have to worry about people cooperating because you are your own man. That is what word of mouth does. I put in the work to have word of mouth. That shit could have lasted forever, but I'm literally going to make a video about why it didn't last forever, because the rappers who I was working for knew that they were at a disadvantage in real life, but had everything on paper. So you have to understand that there's a big freaking difference. You may be getting all their appraisal, but I've had that in high school. And guess what? That's not cool. I've had a whole bunch of people praise me over and over again for dancing and stuff like that, but I didn't get one girlfriend, did I? It's the same thing with the rappers that I was working for. They had the exact same life that I did in high school, except that they were getting paid, and they weren't even getting paid by that much, because literally my welfare was actually a step up. What they literally were a step down, what they don't get paid at all, because rappers have to pay for their own equipment. Rappers have to do this and that. I don't have to pay for shit. All I have to do is make an A and B and then push it out there, and I still get the same ton of faves, same ton of feedback, same everything, and I can literally just go about my day. That was the life I used to live, and Lisa and society attacked that. You are not professional, you are this and that. I'm like, that's why I can come and go. That's why I asked to come and go. Just remember over and over again that one of the great talks at Home Depot that they told Diamante, and they told a whole bunch of other kids that thought Lisa was right, was literally rappers most of the time are virtuous because they try too hard to fit in, just like me in high school. And literally, word of the mouth means that you have the freedom to do what you want, and they're stuck with a contract. So remember, word of mouth is better than you getting it on paper, but it's not when somebody tests you saying, oh, you're a rapper, oh, you're famous, how come you don't get paid for what you're doing? How come you don't get this and that? But you have to keep it on the inside. That's the secret between word of mouth and real life, and that's why he kept on attacking me, and that's why society thought they were winning. All they did was delay the truth, but the truth came out anyway, because that's what happens when you keep stuff on the inside that leaks on the outside. Now all those rappers have bad reputations. I still have mine intact because I had a foundation of truth. What theirs is based off a lie. You have to understand that. And that's why literally you can't convince somebody after they've already been through those stages. I know I'm not gonna suck those tits. I'm about to leave. I know I'm about to lose my freedom if I sign a contract, but I'm gonna leave. So that's literally what's gonna happen. So you have to understand what the power of word of mouth is, but don't get into word of mouth if you don't know what you're doing. I will explain that literally, plain and simple. Do not get into word of mouth if you know that you can't pull off the shit that I can do. Only because you have to be your own type of professional to do it. Because I had the experience in the aerial, because I took constructive criticism over and over again and learned from people from community colleges, while I was able to network with professionals, but I wasn't able to be professional. But that was okay because I was able to live my normal lifestyle. And that's why word of mouth is very powerful. But do not think that word of mouth does not come with skill. It comes with the same exact skill as being a celebrity. Remember that, because I was offered to be a rapper, but I turned it down because I wanted to keep my freedom. So this is Mootrix, and this is word of mouth.